right, I didn't do a recap for a few days now, so let's just go over everything that I saw that was important to me and how price structure developed and what I thought about it. So let's just start. Um, we went over this a few times now. We had this range, we tried to break out, we reaccepted the range, so we are looking for a rotation to the low of this range. I told you right there that I don't think this is the low, and we will just sweep it another time, especially on ES, because we had these stacked lows. We were a bit high, and ES started to weaken. I told you that I wanted to see these highs get swept before we take these lows, and this worked really well. Unless that I took a loss on this short because we made this extra move, but I think I covered it already. So going into the first day, I have to recap. It was first day. We were about here, and on ES you could see that here we have this little low volume node in the middle of this double distribution, and we test the lower balance. So I wanted to see a quick bounce actually, to see if we want to just sweep the lows and reaccept it, or just as a mean reversion. And Q clearly told us that we want to go lower. So this is why I only took a mean reversion. And it was really, really bearish on that day. So we dropped pre-market and then we opened around here. And we already kind of continued that move, made a lower high and went down. So we did not reject any of these balances. We straight reaccepted that one. And since we wanted to see that full move, we were really bearish, and I wanted to see that low and that low. So yeah, that's why I was really bearish on NQ. So for now, I removed all of the levels from the level chart, so you can clearly see what I was thinking at that point, because I adjust the levels pretty much every day. And here you can see that we had this range. We had multiple overlapping profiles. So I decided to draw one above all of these. So we can see after we broke out of the range and we did not respect value area low, what we could retest to go lower. And you can see that at open, we were around here. So we kind of already accepted that huge balance. So what I wanted to see ideally was a retest of the value area high of this balance, or a retest of the value area low of that entire range to continue selling off. So let's just try to mark out what I had marked out. If we squeeze it a bit, it is always a bit easier to see. So we pretty much had the balance. We only had this value area low here, around that price area where we had a bit of a gap. But the first level I would mark out is pretty much where this entire volume drops off. So you can see this low volume node on that profile, that ledge right there, and on the combined profile, on that fixed range profile, you can also see this ledge. As well as on the composite, you can see that we have this low volume node and a bit of a ledge basically. So this is the level that I had marked out, and this is what we respected. I know that we had a lot of buyers coming in here, while we did not have any here. So I took this mean reversion trade, and then we started to absorb buyers that came in. And yeah, this is when I flipped. So yeah, then I think I had a target that was that range low. It was 412. Let's just mark that out. 412. Exactly, this is the adjusted chart. So yeah, that was really perfect. And then after we sold off, we respected the balance low. I really just stopped trading because look at that. We just chopped around, and yeah, that is not what I want to see. When we sell off and then we find acceptance in a balance, I really just want to get off. There was no news, I think, because the entire last week we didn't have any red folder news. So yeah, I did not trade on Friday. Why didn't I trade on Friday? Pretty simple. We opened around here. I wanted short. I think I had a level for shorts really that would have caught the top or on a queue. Yeah, I think it was on a queue, but there was pre-market, so I didn't catch it. And else than that, we opened in here in previous day's balance and this cluster balance, and I didn't want to trade there, so I just took the day off, and I don't regret it at all. So what did we see on Monday? So yesterday we pushed up, we gapped up overnight. Over the weekend we gapped up, and overnight we traded in that previous balance right there. At least on yes we did, which always gives us the bias. If we re-accept an old balance, we should respect value area low and value area high, and until we don't, we should play that range. So what did I look for at open? Obviously it wasn't too clean because you can see that we have this consolidation in the lower balance that didn't really find a manipulation or something like that. We did never test the value area low to get some fuel to have a great move up. I hope you understand what I mean. But I don't like a reaction out of a consolidation, out of the point of control or the middle of the balance. Those are usually weak and get repaired soon because weak hands drive the market. I like when the market kind of manipulates, you could say, into a low volume node to get strong hands, move the market away really fast without a consolidation, and then we have a strong low. But in this case, this consolidation is really weak. We have this gap. We only traded in here overnight, didn't really build volume in here. And then we obviously did not respect value area low, and we broke down. So that was yesterday. Today we will look at this and that. So this balance again, but more specific on the level chart. And that was yesterday, yeah. On NQ, what we saw is this mild sweep of the low that was just too tiny, and we did not really tap a significant level. I wanted to tap into the next volume slightly or into the middle of the low volume node and get a strong rejection or something like that. So we pretty much made those equal lows. This low was not too strong, but then we made our move into the balance. We tested the value area high, and this is where we sold off. And now we are below, and this is actually pretty scary. If we look at the overview chart, this is my big chart. We had this run up and we really lacked volume here, as you can see here. And now we built this consolidation. We couldn't break out after we made this low with a lot of volume. Usually if we turn with a lot of volume, or in general if we have candles with a bunch of volume, this is a sign that we may peak or bottom, as you can see right here, as you can see here, as you can see here. Always at the bottom we had these volume peaks. So this is a low that we don't want to be broken. If we accept below that, this is a sign that we don't respect this demand and buyers lost. So yeah, if the volume would load, you would see that we don't have any volume in between here. So there's like a massive gap, and we could see really fast down moves, which is not what we are actually, it is what I want, because I bought a put option when we failed the breakout. But yeah, what I wanted to see initially was just a quick sweep of this and then a fast reaction to make a new high before we sell off. But now we chopped around. We have the summer price action. Now we are below the low. We didn't really build volume yet, but everything can happen pretty much below here because there's no volume in between. So that's it. I hope we don't crash too hard. But we have to see how, especially today, tomorrow develops. We have FOMC, which will be interesting. And else than that, yeah, earnings week. We should have a lot of important earnings. I will watch those. And I wish you the best.